everybody to Makeup with Gigi. Hang out with me while I create this really fun pink and purple thing going on here. I'm going to tell you about how I met my bestie and how we got to be besties. And check out behind me. Yeah, I painted. It's totally great. Moved all the kinds of stuff around here in the studio. So maybe someday when I, finish putting it together, we'll do a little studio tour. Until then, you're going to have to suffice with this video. So sit back, grab your snack, like and subscribe below, leave me a comment so I knew you were here, and hang on for the ride. Okay, so as I said in the intro, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to open up with Bloodlust. Yes, one of my favorites. And I am going to go ahead and take my favorite BH Cosmetics number 1 here for those playing the home game. And let's get started with the color right here, Deviant. And I just want to do that as my my crease color. We're going to work in some other real pretty colors here in a minute, but I think this is going to make the best base. If you don't have Bloodlust and you have Jawbreaker instead, Gumdrop would be really nice for this. It's a little bit darker. I do not have Jawbreaker. It's on my to-buy list, but not yet. I thought about just buying the minis, but the minis are just $10 a piece. Seems real high, for as many as I like from that palette. I mean, if you figure, if you're buying like 5, that's $50. You might as well just buy the palette for 4 more. And I think that's kind of his point. But if you only need 1 color, like should he ever put out Ranch, Jeffrey, looking at you, still waiting on Ranch as a single. I'm almost out. Then if you only need 1, it's kind of worth it. But I want all of them, so I guess I'm better off waiting for a palette. Okay, and that's just a base. Remember, we're gonna blend over that into that. It's just something to get us started. I want to take for my outside corner from the new Pink Religion palette. I guess by this time it's not so new, but I want to take this color at the bottom, Vatican Vanity, and I want to use that for my outer corner. I've been really excited to see how these palettes play together. I feel like the mixture of purpley pinks in both palettes are going to give for some really nice combinations. It's like Pink Religion is almost everything I missed out of Blood Sugar and Bloodlust. I don't have Blood Sugar. Reds are not on my high list of colors I wear. But I'll eventually pick it up just because there are some colors in there I really would really like to wear. I want to do some fun, like just playing around stuff. Character based maybe, and see if y'all can guess the character. That could be fun. That'll have to be off days though, because I'm imagining them as getting quite elaborate. Next, let's go into the color Prom Night. That's going to be right here. This is upside down. Right here on your Pink Religion palette. And let's do this. Let's go in kind of lightly, because I don't want a whole lot of pink, but let's just do right here a little bit and see what happens. We're going to go in light in case we need to do something else. Alright, and for those keeping up with our home game, I am switching over to my Eco Tools Precision Blending Brush. That's the little flat guy is what I usually call him. So, we're going to go back into the color Deviant on the Bloodlust palette where we started. Right here. Right here. And I'm just going to use that to blend out these edges right here and smooth the pink and the purple kind of at the top. And then we're going to go back and highlight it with something shimmery in a minute. I haven't decided what yet. We want to smooth these edges first, see kind of what kind of room we have and where we end up on the eyelid. But there, see how much nicer that looks? Just a little bit of blending. And that color here, Deviant, it's just perfect for this. That's why we started with it. And let's do the other side real fast. For our lid, we're going to go back in with Bloodlust, and we're going to use this color right here, Wet Jewel. And I'm just going to take it on my finger and tap it onto my eyelid. Now I'm just going to blend in the edges with, again, my BH Cosmetics #1 brush. To highlight our brow today, we are going to go in with the color here, Princess Crown. And I am going to go back to my Eco Tools Precision Blending Brush. And let's go ahead and just a little bit, it is very shiny and it is pigmented. So you don't want to go in too crazy, too heavy to start. It does build up. But again, it just blends very nicely in with that purple and pink we've got going on already. Don't live here. Get my shit together. Okay. We're gonna have to reorganize these things. I want All right, and you know what, y'all? It's gonna be a long night tonight, and I wanna go ahead and try out this L'Oreal Paris. This is their telescopic waterproof eyeliner, and I bought it honestly thinking it was gonna be this color blue. Boy, was I disappointed. It's just black, but that's okay, because I don't know if the e.l.f. one is waterproof or not. I don't necessarily think it is, but tonight is a long night, so let's give it a try. I do like their little applicator. It's not a brush. It's just like a little pointy, almost like a toothpick. You know, y'all, I'm sitting here thinking about it. I don't think I told you I made a little change in my startup today. Instead of priming my eyes with my usual Stuck on You by the Beauty Crop, today we're trying something new. This is the Juvia's Place Eye Prep Eye Prime Eye Primer, and I got it in the shade 1, which is the lightest, so it is more white. I don't know if you could tell the difference in the beginning. Also, before I started, I used my NYX Marshmallow Primer. I used my usual e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil and Wow Brow Brow Gel, and my Laura Mercier Setting Powder. Now I'm going to give all of this one good spritz, and then we're gonna move on and we're gonna do the rest of my face, and maybe I tell you a story. And as you see, I just did that over my eyes where I've already done. I did not do the rest of my face. We're gonna wait a minute. All right, y'all, I tried to think of a story to tell you, and I was really focusing on like trying to tell you a story about me and Bestie. And then I realized most of the stories about me and Bestie, if I tell them and the wrong person sees it, one or both of us is probably gonna be in trouble with at least that person, if not further. So instead, I'm gonna tell you about my bestie and how she became my bestie. So, once upon a time, back circa 2015-ish, I was working at a fine dining restaurant, and I had been working there about a year. I had finished college and stayed, and I had been seeing the same boyfriend for, at that point, almost 4 years. And so I went home one day from work, and he told me he wanted me to move out. Seeing as I had just paid the rent and all the bills for that month, I was not moving out at that time. And so instead, we fought it out for a day or so, and then I decided I'm gonna go ahead and call the property manager because she likes me, and if she has anything, she'll, help me get in it so I can do this as quick as possible. And she said she had something, but I had to wait till the end of the month because somebody was moving out. And I was like, you know what? That's cool. No, they were moving out and she wanted to sublet it is what it was. Like from them kind of, or switch the lease because they wanted to leave in the middle of theirs and I needed a place like ASAP. That's what it was. But we had to wait on wherever they were moving to be ready, which was the end of the month. So, end of the month comes, and I'm moving and whatnot, and I get all into my new place. And it's the first time in my life I have ever legitimately lived 100% by myself. Everybody should do it at least once. It is so good for getting to know yourself and, what you really want, who you really are. Because when you spend that much time with yourself and you're as poor as I was, you don't have a lot to do but spend time with your own thoughts. So, anyway, enough of my prior poor choices. So I go to work one day after I move in, and I'm telling this girl at work who works the salad station, we chit-chat because we're coworkers, but we've never actually hung out much or anything. And so I'm telling her that the boyfriend at the time had told me that nobody was going to come help me move because I didn't have any friends of my own and nobody liked me. And this is one of the nicer gaslighting things that he did. So out of spite, this bitch threw down whatever she had at her little salad station here and said, I'll come help you when you want to do this. So she came over, and I was so grateful to have her help. The previous tenants had this religious religious sticker on the wall, one of those sayings love is this and that. I think it was 1 Corinthians. And that had to go because my poor little Satanist atheist heart here could not do it. Love is great and all, but there's more to it than just putting 1 Corinthians on your wall. So I wanted that gone. And so me and her stood there with razor blades, and we scratched that shit right off the wall. Because I just took the apartment as is. Whatever. They left, no lie, an inch of leaves and debris and shit. I don't know what they did. I think they brought it in from the outside. But so I had to clean all that up and vacuum, and she helped me with that, and she helped me get the floor in the living room, manageable. And the whole time we're just talking and hanging out, and both of us realized we are big fans of herbal tea. And so, we brew us a big old pot, couple of little pots of herbal tea, and we decide to go out, have a cigarette, and we're gonna start cleaning the porch. Because where I lived, it was right by the lake. Like in the fall, in the winter, the leaves fell and the lake was legit like just across the street. So I had a lot of this, like, I call it lake scum. It's all over the town I live in. If something stands still too long, it's going to be covered in lake scum. And it's this like green, super slimy, and if it's wet, like after it rains, you would legit like just fall on your ass on my porch. So it had to be cleaned. And I'm finding out while I'm talking to her that she's into all this natural hippie cleaning shit like I am. I'm over here with my vinegar and my OxyClean, that's not really hippie, but cleaning stuff as natural as I can. And we decide we're going to use vinegar to clean the porch. Just a little vinegar water. Good old-fashioned white distilled vinegar. It will clean almost anything. And we go out there. I guess I could be putting on concealer. This is Tarte Shape Tape Ultra Creamy, and I picked up today 29N. That is light medium. And so, we go out there and we start cleaning and we get the whole floor clean. And then we start looking at the rail. We're drinking our herbal tea the whole time, and just having a good old time and bonding. And throughout that process, we got all of the porch floor clean. And the supports, because I was on the middle floor, so there was one below me and one above me. We got all the supports cleaned except where it was too high for me to reach, because that was my task. And I don't, in retrospect, know. I think she just likes watching me struggle to be short sometimes, because she's like 6 feet tall. And I totally need a giant in my life, being the tiny little troll that I am. Anyway, so we started hanging out a lot more and bonding. And she just, over the years, she's become my wife. Anything I need. Anything at all. If I need mom advice, she's great for mom advice. She's got kids of her own that they're adults and they're still alive, so she did something right. They're great kids. I love them. Her granddaughter is awesome. I love her to death, and she will ask to come play at Gigi's, and I think that's adorable that anyone wants to come play with me, especially a baby. And she's really just the absolute best friend anybody could have. And we go through our phases, where, yes, we actually live 6 miles from each other. I moved this direction partially to be closer to her. So we'll go through phases where we'll see each other every day and hang out like every day. And that was more when I was single and I lived right there kind of by where we all work, because it was convenient and it was nice to not have to be there for a couple of hours. So, she'd come over and spend her breaks with me, and we'd drink our herbal tea and hang out. And then you also go through phases, though, where you don't really see each other a lot. You all get real busy with work. I got a new boyfriend, the current boyfriend. He's pretty awesome. So I do like spending time with him as much as he can tolerate me. And, things go down in everybody's life, and you don't get to hang out as much, and that's cool, too. We still pick up right where we left off. If I need anything, she is Johnny on the spot right there, trying to solve it. And, I saw a TikTok the other day about how prepared Southern women are to hide a body. I'm just saying. She's a good girl to know. And I love her. And she takes excellent care of me. The entire first year that I lived in that apartment that we bonded in by myself, I was such a sad little burrito on my couch, and it took everything in her. She's super, super extroverted, whereas I, on the other hand, when you look up introvert in the dictionary, there's my little picture. It's me. I like to stay home. I like to, cuddle up on the couch and watch TV or read a book or something like that. I don't necessarily like people. I mean, I do. People are great. But a lot of them, or for extended periods of people, it's time for me to have a break. Even when I have parties at my house, and all my friends know I do this, I will go hide. I will go sit in my bedroom for like 20 minutes and just, I need 20 minutes to myself. And everybody knows and respects it. Next, let's go in and do our under eyes while I'm sitting here again talking about how much I love my bestie. Okay, so we're gonna take Pink Religion while I'm sitting here still chit-chatting away about how amazing my bestie is. And I'm gonna take this color again, Vatican Vanity. That was the darker color we used out here. And I'm just gonna do a little bit of my under eye, probably just about a brush length, maybe a little further. Not all the way to my pupil. Anyway, she's like the only one that I will truly like trust to like watch our house if we go out of town or something. I'm very, I don't know, very picky about that, and she's just amazing. And she does things like when my dad died a couple of years ago, unexpectedly. I was not very close to my dad, but he was still my dad, and I was still, again, a pretty sad burrito. And once again, in true wife fashion and the best bestie in the world, she was there for everything. I don't know, maybe she took days off work. That whole time, that whole week is kind of a blur to me, but I'm pretty sure she took days off work to come and be with me through all of that. Next, let's go back into prom night. And I just want to do, not all the way, but a little bit further. There's cat hair on my brush. This is an M165 from Morphe. And we're just going to put that, again, just a little bit under our eye. But, and she was there for everything. Like, all she needed is what time to be at the funeral home or wherever I needed her to be, or what can she pick up, what can she bring, what can she, what do I need? And I think she read about 6 different drafts of my speech I was giving, my eulogy, I guess. My grandmother wasn't very happy I was doing it, but I think she was afraid of what I might say. Because like I said, my dad and I, we were not close. We had our long-standing issues that were the reason we weren't close. But in the end, I wouldn't be here without him, even if it was like a 20-second contribution that he made. That 20 seconds means a lot to me. So I, wanted to be there, wanted to say something nice, and so I got up there and talked about the good times. And as my bestie read through some of my drafts, she's like, you can't say that. Or maybe we say it this way. To blend all this out, I'm going to go back into Bloodlust, and we're going to use Deviant again. But she's just always been like right there anytime I needed her. But she's real good at figuring out the times that I don't really need her. I think I need somebody, but I don't. Anyway, I thought I started telling you, maybe I didn't. That first year that I was a sad burrito in my apartment, she legit came to my house every day. Sometimes she only stayed like 2 minutes, because I'm sure she actually hadn't planned on it, but she was just, being a good friend. But she would just come and check on me every day. Make sure I'd eaten. Bring me food if I needed it. And then she'd make me go out. And I'm not a go out person, like I said. Definitely I used to be a party girl. Definitely in my early 20s, I was party girl central. Everywhere, all over town, boobies hanging out and everything. And then I got to be older, and I wasn't allowed to drink for a few years, thanks to somebody. So I definitely can't drink like I used to anymore. It's kind of sad, actually. But anyway, she got me to go out, and to do things and meet people and hang out with people and go have a beer. It's okay to have a beer. You don't have to not ever drink again. And she helped me figure out who I was again. What was really me and what was what I was told was me. And even up to a couple of years ago, even still sometimes, I will say something or do something and she will remind me that I am me now, not who I was. So I really need this bitch in my life. And I'll do anything for her. I know sometimes being the lazy friend that I am, because I am, it doesn't seem like it, but I hope she knows that anything she needs, she is welcome to. Even if all it is she comes and eats the tiny tomatoes off my plant before I get home. I don't care. I don't actually know why I was growing tomatoes. I mean, I like them, but it's not the kind of thing that I'll eat like every day. And my tiny tomato plant, well, it's not tiny anymore. Tomato plant got big. And I broke one of his limbs off early on, but I put it in some nice wet soil and it re-rooted. So now I have 2 tomato plants. Glen Coco and Glen Coco Jr. And I have video of Bestie coming over and fist bumping Glen Coco one day. Because you go, Glen Coco. So anyway, she's the best. She's the absolute. She was my boss for a little while. And I thought it was going to be weird, but it wasn't. Could have been where we were working though, shenanigans. They weren't encouraged, but they weren't necessarily discouraged. That was my bronzer, the Ultimate Bronzing Powder by Iconic London. This is my NARS Mini Blush. This is the Orgasm color. And I know I've been kind of lax today on telling you what I'm using. So everything is, as always, listed in the comments below, or in the description below. If you want to try to recreate this look, I encourage you to take what you like from it and change it and make it your own, but if you want to recreate it, that's cool too. Also, you could like and subscribe while you're reading the description. It's right there next to it. And, if there's something you want to know or you want to see, you can leave me a comment, and I actually do read them. I really try hard to reply to them quickly. Right now, I can still reply to all of them. That may change someday. But I do read them all. So please send them. Let me know what you want to see so I don't run out of ideas. And y'all know Shorty, right? We love Shorty. So now we're going to finish up our eyeliner. And now to finish up our eyeliner, I'm going to go in with the ColourPop Cream Gel Liners. This is Charmer, and this is Piggy Bank, and I'll be right back. All right, y'all. I went ahead and did those liners, and I also put on my Too Faced Better Than Sex Waterproof Mascara and gave myself a quick layer of setting spray. For highlighter today, I'm going to go in with the Sacred Glass Highlighter Palette, and I want to use the color Pearly Gates. That's going to be this one. That's going to be this one right here. And we're just going to go in with that on our cheeks. Well, cheekbone above your actual, you know what I mean. And for our inner corner today, I'm going to take Pink Purity, which is the pink highlighter here in the middle. And I'm going to use that. Just got it on my little M431 brush here. And just a little bit here. And then just to brighten it a little more, I'm going to go into Pink Religion, and I'm going to take the color Frosting Cult, which is the pink right here at the top corner. It's the most similar in color to the highlighter, so I'm going to try and just make it a little, there we go, just a bright kind of area right here at the bottom. And that just kind of helps everything blend into a more cohesive color. Last thing to do today is our lips. I'm going to go in with the ColourPop Lippy Liner. This is the color Beeper. It's kind of a teeny bit mauve, but mostly like a mocha-like brown. And then I'm going to go in the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Velour Liquid Lipstick, and this is Doll Parts. Be right back. Okay, everybody, so that's it. We're going to take one last shower in setting spray, and don't forget to like and subscribe below. Leave me a comment and let me know what you thought of this look. See you next time.